presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Thanks for joining us here today in La Quinta, California. Beautiful spot. We're at the Career Builder Challenge. Frank, what do we have out here today?
Par 72, every inch of this golf course is going to extract the best out of your game, because if you don't play your best, you will struggle. Anything in the 60s, something to be proud of.
Here we are at the first tee, ready to kick off the round. Frank?
Good tee shot straight out of the gate. You're going to need it on a hole that's close to 450 yards. Doesn't really matter if you cut it or draw it. Just be wary of that bunker that sits on the right side.
Well, this one is offline just a bit. Look out. You know, that one is going to end up in the rough. Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle. What a great shot.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Second shot coming out of the rough here. And it is not looking like a good lie.
Remember, out of the rough, expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. Getting set to play the second shot here at the first hole. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Well, that's all you want right there. Just lag it down, don't get too crazy, and now just to tap in left. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. In the words of the legendary basketball announcer Marv Albert, from way downtown, yes! In the hole, and that'll bring the score to 1 under. And a putt from Patrick Rodgers. Has this now for bogey. +1 in the early going. Teed up here at the second hole, Frank, this is a short par 4 measuring about 370 yards.
While it mightn't have the yardage, it's certainly made up in strategy by all the bunkering down here, Rich. And it's really two bunkers that you've got to, or two complexes that you've really got to worry about. One down the left, you see, is about 285 yards to carry, and then that next crop comes in just about 300 yards. So you've got to decide whether to go over the bunker on the left and short of the other one, or even lay up to the right, perhaps short. And that's where you realize this is very much a two-shot hole, and play it that way.
He moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
So in the first cut here, it could be worse.
Oh, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
He'll need to be strong with this. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Good swing, good shot yet again. So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Oh my gosh, that hurts. You like that right there, Frank?
Beautiful lag putt. Great pace.
And getting ready for the putt. To 1 over par early on in this round. In for par. Still playing even for the day after the par. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. That is a solid par putt. Frank, players had hybrids, some had irons out off the tee on that short par 4 second. Time to get the big stick out here on the third?
It certainly is. The third hole you play here, 3 totally different looks off the tee. This hole appears straightish off the tee, but well bunkered down the left, which makes you push that tee shot a little to the right.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Second, from an excellent lie. Down, little Sheba, down! That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You've hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Headed for the bunker? Well, he'll have to get up and down from the bunker to save his par. Frank, what's the best way to get at this hole location here at number 3?
If there's a desired shot pattern, it's a little draw off the tee and a little draw in. And the reason why, if you look at the shape of that green, it's on a 45-degree angle to the left, so it really does suit a shot coming in from the right.
Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with a rough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how strong he is.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it. Just too much juicy grass between the ball and the club face. It's always going to come up short out of that sort of light.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another. Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the green.
Well, just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Beautiful stroke right there. Finds the bottom of the cup with ease. Poulter trying to get out of here with just one drop shot. Now a 7-footer.
Even par currently.
So, 2 over early. Clean this up with a tap. Putt drops. Now at 1 over par. Frank, here's a case at the 4th hole, this par 3, of Pete Dye kind of messing with a player's mind. Just how does he do it?
Well, there's a straight line between that tee and the flag. That's the obvious thing. But if you follow the look of the hole down there, it's just the shaping of the bunkers, the little curving of the edges there that just take that mind's eye away, almost making it look like there's a little bit of a dog leg in a straight hole. Very clever.
And into the thicker stuff.
Let's see if he can bludgeon this one out.
This will require a good strike from 180 yards away. Frank, for a long time, the stadium course at PGA West was thought to be too difficult for the professionals. How'd that happen?
It wasn't really unusual. A lot of Pete Dye courses, when they first came out, with the wooden bulkheads, so visually intimidating. It was such a departure from traditional golf design that players, they weren't very receptive to it. They thought it was too punishing, and yet now we look some 20, 30 years later, Big Dye's going to go down with the Mackenzies, the Donald Rosses, the C.B. McDonalds as one of the most innovative and one of the great architects that actually changed the direction that the game's gone.
Back in the late 1980s, the Tour Pros actually refused to go back to the stadium course. They signed a petition to get it removed as one of the host courses, a ban that effectively ran until 2015. But now the Career Builder Challenge will return to the rotation in 2016. Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Wow, I thought he made that. Well, that's all you want right there. Just lag it down, don't get too crazy, and now just a tap in left. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Well, from in trouble, Rich, at least he's back in play.
On the fairway from the rough. Either misjudged the win or simply just pulled the wrong club, Frank.
Going to take some skill now.
And setting up here in the rough. Getting set now over the putt. That's messy. That's a double bogey. Right about 9 feet here to the hole. So begins the climb back. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Well, he has that for bogey, and I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the third hole seems to have really shaken his confidence. So we played our first par 3, now to the first par 5 on this golf course at PGA West. It is the 535-yard 5th hole. Frank, it appears as though it rewards precision off the tee.
And the Bombers, too. You can run out of water at 335 yards. So for the Dustin Johnsons of the world and the Rory McIlroys, that's nearly doable. But if you can't hit it that far, it's quite obvious. You've got to keep it down the right.
Good news is, was able to retrieve the golf ball.
Yeah, on dry land. And can he carry it this time, though?
Third shot now, after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good. That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
High winds, high scores. Let's see if he can put something together late. Playing his third here at the par 5.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
Frank, this is his 6th shot here.
Well, this is the difference between the good players and the great players. Really, just that compounding of a mistake, one after the other.
Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his 2nd shot.
This has to go in the hazard.
He needs to get up or it's going. He went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is, just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
So this is his 4th shot after the last one found the water.
It's not all over, but right now, too, he's staring down the barrel of a very bad hole.
He'll need to be strong with this. Locked in on the read and the speed. So, 2 over par for the round. Patrick Rodgers for par. All right, hanging in. That's a par and 4 over. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. So with that, they're trying to fight back, now at 2 over. Frank, I love a par 3 where you have to hit one solid golf shot. Anything less, and you might pay a severe price. 255-yard par 3 6th. What a hole.
No, you love watching somebody else play a par 3 like that.
All right. NASA, we have a splashdown. So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the 3rd shot. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie. Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. So frustrating sometimes on the greens, isn't it? Drop shot here at the 6th. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Frank, we hear the sports psychologists say, forget about the bad shot, put it behind you. But you know, it just isn't that easy sometimes. You make the double bogey as he did on a previous hole, you're steaming mad. It's hard to let it go.
Well, it's like a lot of things in life too. You've got to choose whether you want to be your own friend or your own foe. And right now you can see that he's fighting himself, and that's the biggest difference. You got to realize your best friend out there is you.
Confidence right now clearly is shaken. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Did the job right there. We're at the 7th now, 346 yards with plenty of water on that right side. How do you handle this one, Frank?
You've got to pick a target there. A lot of people think when they're laying up off the tee, and that's exactly what this hole is. You just blaze away at something down the left side. But if you're going to pick a tree, don't just pick the tree. Pick a branch or a leaf. Be more specific.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up. Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Frank, sadly, I've been there too often. In the water, you get down on yourself. What's the right way to approach this mentally?
Well, you've almost got to take a step backwards, Rich. This can add up so quickly. So give yourself a little pat on the back, say it's fine. I mean, you're human. You're allowed to hit bad shots. But the big thing now is to avoid 2 in a row.
Now on to his 3rd shot after the last one went into the water. Frankie's managed to hit it in the rough yet again.
Yeah, this is hard to imagine. The fairways aren't that narrow today.
And it is not looking like a good lie. Frank, this is obviously a green light situation.
It is, because of the tee shot. A smart layup here gives you the chance to go straight at this flag.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the whole location from here. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, I see a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Sit down, grow some teeth, look out.
It's gone.
Either misjudged the win or simply just pulled the wrong club, Frank.
Going to take some skill now.
So Frank, out of the bunker and back into play.
Yeah, the late Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's always the next one. Well, by getting the ball back in play, he just made that a little easier.
And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That is a solid par putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, once you hit double the par, it's time to just pick up and move on. Just a couple of feet. Two over for the day. Now the second par 5 on this opening 9 here at PGA West. Frank, what are we looking at?
The bunker down the right side gives you that optical illusion because it sort of has that curvy edge to it, plus it sort of moves its way to that right side, and then you notice there's a bunker on the left that sneaks in on the left side. So this isn't just sort of blaze away off the tee. It still requires a good straight tee shot. If you do err a little bit, then you've got to be very cognizant of the bunkers up on the left side as you get closer to the green.
Boy, this one has a chance to be really good. Nice position, short grass, second shot.
Common thread here, rough, rough, rough.
Wrong way again. He in the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Set for his next shot from a good position in the fairway. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he was thinking on that.
In the greenside bunker here, Frank. Nice to go to the beach, but not too often, we hope. Birdie attempt coming up for Ian. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough.
The lie pretty much dictated the result. Thick rough, tough to get that all the way to the green.
Trying to muscle it out of there, but you had to be Schwarzenegger to get that one done. Frankie has to be scratching his head as he reaches for a sand wedge or a gap wedge for his next shot.
Well, you know the FedEx Cup, Rich. I mean, you're meant to get there by 10:30 tomorrow. That thing's still going.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Getting set now over the putt. Frank, you know what gets me about this game? Here a person makes a legitimate effort, makes a good stroke, and that ball spins around and is just laughing at the player. And now what's left, you could breathe on that ball. It counts the same as a 300-yard drive. It's not right.
But it's the beauty of the game.
These putts keep the round together. Needs birdies at some point, but will take the par to stay at 2 over. Trying to get out of here without too many bumps and bruises. This one is for bogey. So that's a drop shot. So just a formality here. Seven over for the day. Frank, the ninth hole at 452 yards with that water down the right is really a test of a player's driving ability, isn't it?
It is, and his ability to sort of take the shot on. Ideally, just something with a little bit of a fade, unless you can carry the ball 300 yards, then you can get it just past that bunker. But when you look at this hole, notice how that fairway just starts to open up. So Pete Dye will reward an aggressive tee shot, but also he'll punish it if it's wayward.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
What a great shot.
Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Ian Poulter going for the green on his second shot.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Now this second shot from 170 yards.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Locked in on the read and the speed. And he makes it for par. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. So 1 over par for the round. It has been frustrating. 6 over par already. Well, let's hope he can regain some ground here on the back nine. Not his best performance so far today.
But what a good back nine would do. If he can just even this round out with just 9 good holes, so much can happen.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
Excellent drive, Frank. Right where you want to be. Well, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
Frank, not easy to keep your eye on the target when you've just splashed down.
Yeah, but on the flip side too, one bad shot doesn't have to lead to two.
So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the third shot. Oh, look out, Frank. Where's this one headed?
This is definitely rough, Rich, off the tee. Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. So, Frank, on this approach shot, really all you can do is try to salvage a bogey.
Yeah, just too many mistakes in the compiling. So if you can get out here with a bogey, in some respects, that's a result.
Oh, a bit unfortunate. Wasn't able to avoid the sand trap. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot, and now pretty good chance for birdie. Frank, again, this would appear to be a pretty good scoring opportunity.
This is so much about getting the distance right here. Bunkers on the left, there's the water to carry, that's needless to say, but also the mounding that's just behind the screen and to the right. It's very easy to just take the trouble out of play in the front and then find the trouble behind the screen. So second shot, judging the distance, imperative here.
Either misjudged the win or simply just pulled the wrong club, Frank.
Going to take some skill now.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Well, thank you at last. A birdie. That was a long time coming, Frank.
Yeah, finally he strung some shots together. Now, if all of a sudden he can do the same on the next hole, he might just get a run going.
Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. Back to par for the round. Now at the long par 5 11th. They call it eternity with good reason. It is 617 yards. Frank, what's the game plan here?
Hit it as long as you can, hopefully only a couple of times, and you can get fairly close to this green. A little pitch up there, but even if you go for this green or try and get close, that's when you start to notice the water that comes in on the left side. So you can't just bash away. Might only be a couple of bunkers in play off the tee, but they have to be avoided. You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Frank, it's a hard game to play from the high grass.
And that's where he's been more often than not today.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
Well, from in trouble, Rich, at least he's back in play.
On the fairway from the rough. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, when you look at great rivalries in sports, you realize that athletes need each other. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to achieve greatness, to achieve legendary status. And in golf, Tom Watson needed Jack Nicklaus to push him to another level.
And also to define an era. Without one, we couldn't think of the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s or the 2010s. You need those players to define that era. So you need competition. Competition is not without rivalry.
Patrick Rodgers' third shot. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Poulter has this for birdie. And at last he has made a birdie.
And what can he do from here, though? Is that the start of something? It looks like it is.
Need to do it one at a time, so with that, they're at +4. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That takes him to 1 under on the day. Now the par 4 12th, only 363 yards, but Frank, it is intricate. There's a lot involved, isn't there, in playing a hole like this?
Yeah, I think this is where you have to work out, which clubs do you hit the best? Are you better with a 9-iron? Are you better with the wedge? Because that's the distance you want to hit it to. That's how you can be aggressive, even when you're laying up.
It's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank, what's so compelling about rivalries in sports is that athletes need each other if they're going to go to great heights. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to solidify his legend. Jack Nicklaus probably needed Arnold Palmer to go to a place that he had not been. And I think that's true across the board as we look at rivalries in sports.
I think it defines careers, Rich. It's not until those players retire that they realized how important it was to have that foe. So often we're living in the present like we are now with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. And it's not for years to come that we'll realize the sport wouldn't have been the same with one without the other.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good. Second shot now for Patrick Rodgers. Good looking shot right here. Good clean contact and a nice result and a chance for birdie coming up. Frank, what's the right play here? Second to the short 12th.
Short flags, obviously got to keep it on that front section. When you've got a back flag, you've got to get it over that little faint ridge that's in the middle of this green. Got to go past that.
Patrick Rodgers' putt for birdie. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
Did the job right there. Could use this, a putt for par. Everything has gone wrong today. Just continues to be ugly. Chases that in for par to stay at 4 over. You see the blend of holes here from the long par 5 to the short par 4, now to the 214-yard par 3 13th.
Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
That's been the story of the day, hacking it out of the rough.
You're going to have grass stains on the shoes come the end.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Birdie attempt coming up for Ian. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Frankie has to be scratching his head as he reaches for a sand wedge or a gap wedge for his next shot.
Well, you know the FedEx Cup, Rich. I mean, you're meant to get there by 10:30 tomorrow. That thing's still going.
Hard putt, soft hands, beautiful roll. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Just a little tap in here. This would be a good time to reverse the slide. 5 over par on the day. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Well, too bad, he gives one back. Frank, what's the best way to make 3 here at this 389-yard par 4 14th?
I'm not sure, really. I know there's 2 definitive options, you know, hitting it down the left or carrying over the bunker. And I think that's another example of Pete Dye. There's one of those holes you never really know if you've made the right play until you finish the hole.
Headed for the bunker? Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, 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 rough. Oh, and it gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut.
Not too
That's
bad.
not too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
He'll need to be strong with this. That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
So in the first cut here, it could be worse.
That's a tough lie to come out of. Not surprising it's come up short.
Well short right there, but still in the game for a par. Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Well, Frank, this is something we've seen more and more of in recent years, players just on the fringe.
Yeah, it's good to see. It shows he's thinking. You don't just have to grab the lob wedge, and that's it. Hybrid putt, you name it, whatever works.
And he's made it onto the green. Wow, what a shot. Doesn't even need the putter. These putts keep the round together. This game's amazing. You're rolling along, life is beautiful, and then bang.
Step away from the controller.
Total depression. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Solid par 4 here. The 15th is 468 yards. Frankie's managed to hit it in the rough yet again.
Yeah, this is hard to imagine. You know, the fairways aren't that narrow today.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par. Yeah, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Now the approach here at 15. On the 15th green in regulation, but not yet in the hole. This is about a 30-footer, and he'll look at it from a couple of different angles just to try to get a feel for it. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
You've got to be kidding me. That was right on the edge.
I tell you, he wants a do-over there.
Patrick Rodgers for bogey. In for a bogey. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, not what they wanted. 7 over par already on the round. Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. Par 5 16th is a slight dogleg left at 600 yards. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Oh, I like that.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. Frank, you know this game can just take the wind out of your sails. Tough sport.
Everybody would love to drive it down the middle of the fairway, knock it to 10 feet and make the putt. We know it's not always going to happen, but play to your strengths. You might be chipping well. You might knock the odd 30-footer in. You don't have to play perfectly to make a good score.
Look out left.
And there's rough over there.
And that one rolls just into the rough.
Now you have to decide whether or not that ball's going to fly or not.
Poulter now, third shot. Good swing, good shot yet again. Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. Oh my goodness, Frank, that is painful.
Oh yeah, that's the... You'd rather miss the hole at times, wouldn't you? It's tough to take an extra club out of that lie, Rich, because it's always in the back of your mind, if you hit it properly, it's going to ML the green.
Gave that one everything he had. I mean, really gouged it, and still, it was short. Getting set now over the putt. Wow, he needed that, Frank, in the worst way.
Interesting to see what's ahead from now, whether that was just a flash in the pan or the start of something good.
Needs birdies at some point, but will take the par to stay at 2 over. And he's putting for par now. That's a solid par putt. Well, well, well. Here we are at the famous Alcatraz. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. You like to hinge just a little bit quicker on the takeaway when the ball is down like this?
No, when it's down, you've just got to make sure that you wind up almost like you're hitting a tee shot. This is not one to be dallied with. You've got to hit it powerfully, and you really have to focus on that club getting through the grass, past the ball, and out the other side.
What a putt. Just missed, Frank.
That's cruel.
Rodgers trying to play mistake-free golf. Needs this for his par. There you have it. Well done. Great putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Makes it and moves to 1 over. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Six over par on the round right now. Well, here we are at 18. It's a par 4, only 439 yards, but again, we've said it all day long. Water to deal with.
It's a great driving hole here, Rich. You don't necessarily have to hit driver. There's 3 groups of bunkers that are really in play off the tee shot. It's the one in the middle. That's around 290 yards. That's the one you really have to focus on. For stronger players, there's nothing wrong with hitting 3 wood off the tee there. You're still only going to have a shot of 150, 160 yards. Whichever way you look at it, it's something that you think you can find the fairway with.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, can one small tweak from an instructor lead to a big turnaround?
With the right player, yeah. You just want to hear the right message. It's like anyone in life. You just want to be pointed in the right direction.
This one is definitely heading left. Looks like it is going to end up in the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, actually a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
One last good approach here to the 18th hole. Let's see what happens.
Should be safely on deck.
This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus.
Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That was well judged, wasn't it? Patrick Rodgers putt for birdie. Just a couple of feet. Add them up, and it comes to 74 for the day. Just a little tap in here. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Well, Frank, as we put a wrap on the day, it was plain to see he just didn't have his best stuff, but that's golf, and there's always tomorrow.
Yeah, the beauty of this game, you're rated by your best and your worst golf. Today's not, I don't think, a fair assessment of how good a player he is, but we'll see down the line exactly whether